The Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences is composed of a set of professional schools and programs dedicated to healthcare. In the United States, virtually all health professions programs are found within major universities, but many universities contain other kinds of programs as well. The story of American higher education is of dynamic and vibrant institutions that evolved from simply teaching students to becoming robust academic centers. When the Europeans invaded North America, they brought with them institutions like the church, commerce, and the arts. Within a few generations, the need arose for educated people to keep those institutions running. This led to the creation of colleges and universities using European institutions as models. The Spanish did so throughout Latin America in the 16th century, and the English followed in North America, establishing Harvard in 1636 and William and Mary in 1693. As the young nation developed, some professions began to require more specialized preparation. Professional schools emerged, which transformed colleges into universities. These institutions generally instructed through lectures and recitation, while tradespeople developed their skills through apprenticeships. Meanwhile, the European prototype was changing. In 1810, the University of Berlin opened with a traditional commitment to teaching the young. However, the faculty would also be responsible for the discovery of new knowledge, which gave rise to fields like experimental physiology and medical bacteriology. Despite the expansion of the educational system, few people of color were able to earn degrees from these universities. However, 1837 saw the founding of what is now known as Cheney University, the first of over 100 historically black colleges and universities, providing more opportunities for more Americans. During the American Civil War, Congress authorized the 1862 Morrill Act, under which federal land was given to states to fund state-owned institutions of higher learning, commonly known as land-grant colleges. The primary purpose was to improve public education in the state, but land-grant colleges also provided instruction in the new agricultural sciences and the mechanical arts associated with the Industrial Revolution. Furthermore, a later grant from Congress allowed these colleges to devote faculty time to research. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, universities and private schools across the United States began adopting the new European ethos. Scholarship became more robust. Advanced degrees became more common as postgraduates prepared for academic careers. Many recipients remained in universities, but some went to work in research institutions and commercial laboratories. American scholarship soon achieved an international reputation, building on German ideas of free inquiry, where faculty determined the curriculum and students selected what courses of study to pursue. But in professional schools, there was considerable debate over what to teach and how to teach it. Standards for course load and credit hours were implemented. Faculty governance emerged with tenure protections to assure responsible but free academic inquiry and teaching. Another indicator of increasing professionalization was the offering of retirement programs like TIAA. The land-grant commitment to expand public education led to each generation having more people graduate high school and attend college. With federal support from the GI Bill following World War II and the Cold War's National Defense Scholarships Program, higher education became accessible to more Americans. But not all. Structural inequalities still prevented women and many veterans of color from taking advantage of these opportunities. Growth driven by expanding technology and increased consumer demand created the need for more advanced practitioners. These included paralegal personnel and master's level assistants in science labs, and in medicine, advanced practice nurses and physician's assistants. Led by state universities and military commissioning standards, nursing moved from the hospital training school to the baccalaureate program, and pharmacy followed. After the Korean War, psychology developed an increased clinical presence in both counseling and institutional work. In the 1960s, many state colleges transformed into universities, and degree programs expanded to meet the needs and numbers of the baby boom generation. In the university itself, expensive traditional faculty began to be supplemented by adjuncts and non-tenured instructors, and graduate students became more independent as teachers and research assistants. As students became more socially and politically aware, activism and unrest sometimes followed. To correct historical inequities, encouragement of people of color and women in the university grew. Social, political, and economic experimentation entered conversations and impacted business and government policy. Basic science pushed forward therapies, prophylaxis, and diagnostics in healthcare. And new technologies led by physics and engineering transformed the electronics and entertainment industries. In the 1970s, public funding accelerated independent faculty research, first in the sciences and then in the humanities, especially in sociology and economics. The NIH commitment dwarfed private philanthropy. The space program funded the physical sciences. The National Endowment for Humanities led to expanded creativity, and Medicare helped finance the expansion of science and technology in medicine. With public funding of both research and practice, public accountability increased as well. The increasing complexity of the healthcare industry gave rise to special health administration as business curricula. In similar ways, careers in business, education, and technology required degrees, and all aspects of American life were presumed to benefit from a college education. The vast expansion of the university came to a halt in the late 20th century. Baby boomers had fewer children than their parents, and there were simply not as many students to fill the lecture halls. At the same time, social progress saw non-white and non-male students being recruited to fill the seats. But frustrations were growing. With increasing retirement ages and advancing technology, many young graduates had trouble finding well-paying jobs, while education costs and associated debt soared. This resulted in young people questioning the value of a college degree, and subsequently, a decreased enrollment in higher education. Despite the financial, social, and logistical challenges, higher education is still a vital source of creativity and advanced credentials. It faces many questions on how to best fund creativity, govern effectively and openly, and provide access to those who need it. But it is hard to imagine a post-industrial, technologically oriented economy functioning without higher education.